facial work. Everything was extremely crazy lines, lots of details, similar to stuff like this. What I learned is I learned less is more. That's one thing that you're going to have to keep into your head forever. With tattoos, because the body ages, and a tattoo that's done on this may look good for the first couple years. 5 years down the road, it'll spread and it'll look like an old school biker tattoo. You know what I mean? Which is, hey, if that's what you're going for, sweet.
Are there like different inks and stuff that you can use?
You'll learn all that in your apprenticeship. Your apprenticeship will cover all that.
Is there any kind of like research done into
Yeah,
like,
the first if you get a tried and true apprenticeship, obviously like the way it works in the States, it's like a 2-year thing. Your first year, don't even think about tattooing anybody. It won't happen. You're going to be drawing, you're going to be scrubbing tubes, you're going to be mopping shop floors, you're going to be a shop bitch basically. I was, you know.
I'm on a
most apprenticeships fail. It's one of those kind of things that happens, like a falling out. A person can only take so much shit. You know what I mean? Happened to me. You know, I ended up having to leave the shop that I apprenticed at. It was just one of those things where like what they were expecting of me met my capacity to cope with it. And I started learning that everything, I was getting tattooed elsewhere, and I was learning that everything that I learned in that apprenticeship was basically the wrong way to even go about tattooing. So I basically got thrown to the wolves. I had to work in a really bad street shop, and I basically had to relearn a lot of things that, like, I had to unlearn bad habits, basically. Like, for starters, like, our slop sink, where we cleaned our tubes and shit, was the same sink that was in the restaurant. Just fucking gross. I had no idea. How I didn't catch hepatitis during my apprenticeship was beyond me. But it's shit like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I'm actually trained vet as well, so I kind of like understand all that kind of hygiene.
It's horrible. Like, it's cross-contamination. Like people would answer the phone with dirty gloves, and I just didn't know anything. You know, it's one of those things. Like, I learned basically a lot of shit that I shouldn't have fucking done. And I'm happy that I came out of it unscathed. You know what I mean? But it was definitely a harder road than people that I've seen who've done traditional 2-year apprenticeships under artists who are compassionate, good, that, you know, are going to give you the time to learn. That's rare these days, so like it's an uphill battle if you want to get into tattooing. But back to like the drawing abilities, like you can draw. Make no mistakes about it. You definitely can draw. But one thing is you got to understand where parts of the body, these things, like draw ideally for what tattoos will be. Look at the tattoos that you really enjoy, and if you can, like watch some of these tattooers start their process off from like line work, or if they're freehanding it on the body to the actual like finished product. You're gonna notice there's not a lot going on as far as line work goes, and what you want is you want your piece to breathe. A really good example of what I'm talking about is this tattoo. The gentleman that I'm about to tattoo wants to get this on his neck. Obviously, this is drawn for a neck. I mean, it can be drawn for a neck. It can go on a neck, but I feel like there's too many silly little details that are in this to put on a neck. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be retracing his neck, drawing it out to where the design breathes a little more. That way, it's not crazy. I want somebody to be able to see that tattoo from here to where the door's at and be like, yo, like I know what that is. That's a Rose of the Panther, and I want to walk up closer and see it. And that's the whole less is more thing. If you learn to trim the fat on your drawings and think about each thing that you draw as it's going to be designed for a tattoo, that's the kind of thing like to roll up with your art. And just look at artists and see what they're doing. You know what I mean? Like even like trace some of their flash. You know what I mean? Like learn where their line work is going and why that's going in the right places. Why they use a thicker line weight versus a smaller line weight. Why they choose to only roll with 5 colors versus 15 colors.
It's actually working.
You know, it's things like that that keep you in a mindset that what you're doing is for a tattoo that you want to live forever. You want to, as long as the canvas is alive. You know what I mean? Like that's what you want to. That's your end goal. But with tattoo, like these obviously can't be tattoos. Like this is one of those kind of things. And if you're trying to get into a particular style of tattooing, I wouldn't focus too much on that per se. Like try to find a few different styles that are really speaking to you. American traditional and Japanese kind of go hand in hand. I mean, they're obviously 2 completely different style forms, but like I feel like if you focus on one, it'll complement the other. And you'll notice why, because Japanese tattooing too, there's a reason why everything is spaced out. There's a reason why there's formulated designs, because they want these tattoos to breathe. You don't want to confuse people with too much. That's the biggest problem that I see with a lot of new I did it. You know, I was no exception to that rule. Like I fucked up. Like I did crazy ass detailed tattoos this big, and they look like hot garbage now. You know, and I thought I was on some next level shit when I did them. And I was completely mistaken. So. That's the only thing I could really recommend as far as like Like this tattoo should be this big.
Bigger, yeah.
You know
That's
what I mean?
my problem. I always do things really
I'll get in the routine of drawing big.
Bigger.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
This is an awesome tattoo design idea, but it would just need to be about that big.
Yeah.
You know, that way your lines, everything's got room to breathe. You have areas where you can saturate color fields. You can blend from your blacks. You know, obviously learn the use of proper black. Like for tattoos, it should be a third black, third skin tone, third color. Sometimes I'd go so far as to make it half black. Like it just depends. Like I always believe there should be more black in tattoos.
Yeah.
Black is your friend.
Yeah.
That color's the shit. That's my favorite color in the goddamn world. Black, black, black.
Well, I think, yep. Yeah, that's got to be getting a bit thin now, really. Those are some really ancient drawings I did, so yeah, you're getting into old stuff now.
Quite good. Yeah, like I said, like, you know, I'd put these in frames and put them on the wall. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the originals are on my wall.
You can't tattoo these. So rendering these in tattoo form, it's crazy. You can tattoo stuff like this, but if you want to get into like soft black and gray tattooing, like that's another thing too. Find a tattooer who has a style, at least is well-rounded enough to teach you the fundamentals of what you really want to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just something like that. Just like make sure, like, you know, and dedicate yourself to like showing this. If you're dead set on getting apprenticed by somebody, nobody's gonna be willing. Nobody's gonna be like, oh yeah, I'll totally take you on. It's not gonna be easy. You're gonna have to be in that shop. You may even have to get tattooed a billion times just to do it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It took one of my friends 14 years to get an apprenticeship.
Yeah.
It's hard.
That's why I've got a job now.
It doesn't hurt that you're a chick. It's a boys club. It always kind of has been. And any chick tattooer will tell you the same thing. Like, they go through some shit. Like, you know, there's only a level of so much that you can take. Like, don't be somebody's piss on. Don't subject yourself to, like, you know, the cheese milk bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, you know, talking about your tits and your ass and shit all day. You know what I mean? Like, you know, don't deal with that shit. Like, you can find people who won't be like that. There are genuine people in the world. They're not, you know, that aren't trying to just like,
They've
you know.
got a designated lady